certainly a disappointing end to a really special season and a really special group of people, our players, our staff. Just thought they did a phenomenal job all year long. So I'm just really proud of their efforts going back to January, but certainly since we got going in August. And we competed today. I thought we prepared well. Obviously, just weren't up to it. Tennessee played an outstanding game, so awful lot of credit to our opponent. Clearly, the self-inflicted things, the things that you can't do if you're going to win football games, whether it's not making the make-alls offensively, penalties, a couple penalties at inopportune times, and certainly turnovers. That's as important a stat as there is, and certainly impacted the game today. So, that part was disappointing. Their offense, they're really well coached, and they really present some unique challenges on the defense, or for our defensive football team. And I thought we had a couple drives there, but settled in. We're doing a lot of good things there. But they're a tough challenge. There's no question about that. So just questions about the future, all that stuff. Really not worried too much about that right now. I don't want to get too global with our thinking, but my thoughts are really with these players. And just the stories that they are, especially our senior class. It's just been a great group of guys. Joe's represented that. Stayed for a 6th year. Just hardworking guys that really care about the right things. They've been great teammates, and then these guys have been great leaders. So it's always tough when you have to say goodbye to guys that played their final game. Some guys are going to go to the NFL. Some guys are going to certainly attempt for that, and wish them the best. But at some point, everybody gets on to their adult life and their life's work. And I'm really confident that all do really well. They're all just top-notch guys. So, just appreciate their efforts, the leadership they gave us, everything they've done. And just really proud of our football team. Disappointing today. It never feels good after a loss. Can't remember one. And if you do this, compete, anytime you go out there, it could go this way. The game is ugly and always has been, always will be. But I got to just encourage everybody to step back. It's a 10-win season, Big Ten West champs. A lot of really good moments, and these guys have really overcome a lot of adversity and a lot of unique challenges. And that's those are things that really serve them well moving forward as they go into their adult lives. And for the guys coming back, we'll build off this. But just really proud of everybody.
Shannon Earhart, KCCI. Joe, this one's for you. What more could you have done defensively as a unit?
I think we could have honestly handled their tempo better. We tried to emulate that in practice, and it's a tough thing to do. When they're getting a playoff every 10 seconds, every 15 seconds. Definitely think that we could have done a better job of that, stopping the run. We were playing for light box, but I think we could have done a better job there. And just from my standpoint, and the defense line just playing better with their hands and better than the fundamentals and stuff.
Scott Dockman with The Athletic. This is for Kirk. At what point were you thinking at all about at halftime about inserting Marco Lainez into the lineup? And then what did you think of the spark that he seemed to provide for your team once he was playing?
Yeah, I don't know if it's critical when we thought of it. We came into the game considering it. Marco's done a really good job. The improvement he's made, he basically started with us in August, so the improvement he's made, it's been really impressive. He's a great young guy, great attitude. So, but it's hard to practice 3 quarterbacks. He certainly got work as the season went on. But, he's still got a lot of learning to do, a lot of time in front of him and all those types of things. But, he went and competed like you think. He's got some things to learn. All this would be a good experience for him. Something to draw upon, and doesn't burn a year of eligibility, so it's a good thing.
Hi, Kirk. Hey, Kirk. Chad likes to go to the winner register. Just following up on Scott's question. Just what you said there, you thought about playing Marco in this game, or thought about starting him in this game, or?
No, not starting. No,
okay.
He's practiced well. So you think about that later because we put a couple of young backs a little bit today, and I think about all of this. But obviously we felt our best chance to win because we started Deacon and played Deacon the majority of the game. We thought they gave us our best chance to win, at some point, he just felt like making a change would be the best thing. So that's what always drives every personal decision.
Hey Joe, LA Clough rivals. With quarterback like Nico, obviously he's well regarded, 5-star coming in. What kind of challenges did he present in terms of the fact of just how mobile he was? And then to follow that up, Kirk, speaking about Marco, did you like that added dynamic he brought in terms of the mobility there as well?
Yeah, he definitely presented a lot of challenges. Just, I mean, you talk about, when you have to defend, too fast, whether it be in the passing game or the running game, it's definitely a lot tougher. And he's a very mobile guy, and you were able to see that today. So, I mean, hats off to them, hats off to their team. They played a really well game.
Hi, Kirk. John Steppe.
Want me to finish that question too?
Yeah.
Just anybody can run in any position is a good thing. But again, he's a young player. He's got a lot to learn, and he's got a good future. He's got good throwing skills, running skills. But just Deacon's obviously got a lot of experience through this season. Deacon's done a lot of good things for us, so it's kind of a decision. But we'll let everybody compete in the spring, see where it all goes.
Hi, Kirk. John Steppe, Cedar Rapids. I think this is now 14 scoreless quarters against ranked opponents. What do you attribute that to?
I got to apologize. My right ear still some pop since we landed. Some sinus stuff going on apparently.
So it's about, I believe it's 14 quarters that you've been scoreless against ranked opponents. What do you attribute that kind of consistent problem from this year to last year? What do you really attribute that to offensively?
The offense is pretty complicated. It's a team effort. I'll just say this, and again, I don't get too global on things. We've played some top 10 teams. We've been a top 10 team. So I think we know what it takes and what's required. Typically for us, at least the last 25 years, everything's going to work together. And certainly it didn't today. It's pretty obvious out there. But usually, whether it's this year or 1999, if you turn the ball over, if you have negative yardage plays, if you don't make the makeable plays, it's going to be tough unless you just got great personnel. So, that's just kind of the nature of football. So it starts with those things, and then, but obviously the players and the experience all play factors into that. But I mean, we've played at that level. We've played teams at that level. We've beaten teams at that level. So it's not like this is, we're talking about something that none of us are aware of. We just got to get better, and we will. That's the plan. We'll start that work in about 2 weeks.
Coach, this is Rick Coleman from KWWL TV. That first opening couple of series, great punt from Tory, and then hitting them deep, and then getting the ball back inside their 50-yard line, and you able to drive down the field and pretty much almost put it in. How big was that interception?
Yeah, that's a real good example of that's who we are, our margin for victory. At least this year has been really tough. It's pretty much been that way for 20-some years. But this year, for instance, for sure, all right, we got to thread the needle. And so when you do get good field position and then take it down inside and give yourself a chance to come out with a touchdown, and don't, that's not good. And then the worst offense was not getting any points. Big difference between 3 and 7. It's obviously 4, but and just to start building some momentum, but that's a good example. And then I think it was shortly thereafter we missed a chance to pin them down, which is uncharacteristic too. But they get the ball at the 20, and just those little things like that they're big factors in football games. And the world we live in, we have to really pay close attention to that. So when you do get down there, it kills momentum, and that's where those turnovers. There's no good place for a turnover. We had one at the other end, and that was kind of the game was over at that point, and we can move on to the 2-yard line. So it's all those little things are really critical.
Kirk, Ornstein Hawkeye headquarters. Nobody in the history of college football has more punting yards than Tory Taylor. How impressive is that feat to you?
I think I've said it many times. First of all, Tory's just an exceptionally young guy. Came here as a guy really naive to college football. There aren't many of them around in our country. fans, everybody's an expert on football. This guy had no knowledge. So I'll never forget that, the first game in Purdue during the pandemic. And he had a strong leg, obviously could, kick a ball, punt a ball. But what he's done over 4 years' time, the way he's refined his skills, the way he's developed, just a repertoire of different ways to punt. It's very impressive. And then most impressively, I think, is the work ethic that he displayed. Because you don't do those things by accident. It's true at every position. To really master what it is you do, it takes a lot of work. And I don't care if you're 34 years old and still playing. There's always work to do. So I think that's the biggest thing I'll take away with Tory is just his work ethic, his attention to detail, the pride that he has, pride in his performance, and by doing all those things, he's like all these seniors. He's set a great example for younger guys, not just punters, but anybody that's paying attention. This guy's, I think, the best in the country. So how that happened, it just didn't fall out of the sky. And that's what you learn in the game is, people get good through hard work, through detail, perseverance. Not every day's a great day. That's how you get good at anything. And so with guys, Joe, Tory, I go right down to all these guys as seniors. That's the bar that they've set, and they've been really good examples for our young guys. Just hope like hell the young guys are paying attention. Some pay attention a little better than not. Jay, I think it's a great example. You learned a whole lot from some of the guys that were in front of playing his tail off.
I noticed after the quarterback change, Deacon Hill took off his helmet and put a metaphorical arm around Marco and stayed that way. Been around football a long time. Is that significant? How could I do so? How significant is that?
I just think it's who our guys are. It's who our guys are. And I'll go back to earlier, when things were not going as good, Deacon struggled, obviously. It was tough for him. It's a tough thing. You got to understand he didn't have much experience. Explained that earlier. But the one thing that's pretty consistent, I think, from all of our players is what they said about Deacon. Those guys all had respect for him, cared about him, and if it wasn't going well, they supported him. So again, that's part of being the team. And today wasn't his day. The new guy goes in and he's right there. It's about being aware of things that again, that's the great thing about football. Like you're not the only guy on the team, and you're not the only guy that is important. And I think for the most part, our guys at least figure that out a little bit, especially these older guys again. And Deacon's not an old guy, but that's really proud of him. That's what you expect, that's what you hope for, but you don't always see it.
Michael Loss, Cedar Rapids Gazette. Kirk, I'm not trying to antagonize you after what you said at the opening remarks, but we're looking ahead after bowl games every year. Do you know what you want and need the most from your next offensive coordinator?
Things really haven't changed much since whatever I said in December or 2 days ago. So, first of all, I want a guy who's going to be a really good team player. Obviously, they got to have that expertise in their area, like all of our coaches. And they got to be good people. They got to be, guys are going to mentor the players they work with. They've got to be people that understand, a team is a team. And I go back to my time in the 80s, the thing made Iowa so special. I came from a place where we had ultra talent. We coached a national championship team down to number 2. And I'll say that, and I'll go on record saying that one. Mainly because we had phenomenal players. Marino, go right down the list. Phenomenal players, but a dysfunctional coaching staff. A lot of guys worried about themselves, and their profession, their careers, all that stuff. I came down with 81, Willie off the pickle boat, and it's like just the opposite. We had, talent, but not the kind of talent we had at Pitt. We had a staff that was just unbelievably cohesive. And the bottom line is guys all cared about one thing: the players they coached and the team being successful. So that's what the game's about. That was as good a 9 years of my life as I've had being on that staff. And so when I came back here 25 years ago, one goal I had was trying to get people, good coaches, but people that, and a couple experts killed me on our first staff, right? Joe Philbin, Norton Parker, Vanderbilt, all that stuff. And just you try to hire the right people, that's all. And then everybody's got to work together to move forward. And what we do is not rocket science. Again, we're not saving lives or anything that stuff. We're coaching football. How they are in front of the players, critical. How they are with each other, critical. And obviously they got to be great representatives of our university. We coach in college, not an NFL team, so there's responsibility there too. You know, what you do in the community, go right down the list. That stuff is important. So there's a lot of things that, you know, are important, and you know, read somewhere earlier that, you know, voice is a big, you gotta get it done, you know, all that kind of stuff. I just want to get it right. That's my responsibility as head coach, is to get it right. Period. Get the best guy we can get. And I feel great about it, but you know, that's another story for another day too. Get back to Iowa, start working on that in earnest as well. My focus has been more so on our team, because that's really my number one responsibility.
Thank you, Coach Joe.
Eat the cake saying me or I, but anyway, you get that day. Okay, thanks.
Thank you, gentlemen.